Welcome back. Now we are proceeding to the front bodice. Now the front bodice is actually higher than the back point O. Now the point O starts from the top line, which is the top line. Now why is it lower than or why is it higher than the back? The back is not higher because when you are taking the measurement, which is your length to waist, it starts from beneath the neck. It is not starting from the neck. There is a hunch around the back where your point O starts from. So for the front, it is higher. All right. So now we have point O right there. Now the first line you have on this page is for the shoulder line, which is 4.5 in smaller sizes. Now for the base of your neckline, it is 7.5. All right. So in larger sizes, the base for the neckline is between 8 to 8.5. And for larger sizes, the shoulder is 4 cm. All right. I need you to know that. Make sure you read the textbook for more clarification. Now, the first thing we're going to do from the point O is to mark our neck depth, okay, neck width, which is 7, the same size at which we have done for the back neck width. Okay, do not forget that it's the same thing. So we are using 7 cm. So in this case, I'll just indicate it right here. So right there we have the NP point. Okay, that's the neck point. Now, as we said earlier, that the 7.5 is the base for the neck, which means you need to connect the NP to the base of your neck. Now, what do we do? It's going to give us a perfect square or almost rectangle in this case. So we have 7. So what I need to do is just to mark 7.5 here and quickly go and check if my draft is actually equal. So I have more than 7. So this is where my 7 stops. So I'm going to rule a straight line there to the tip of my ruler and connect my line right like that. So this is the base of the neck. All right. Now for the shoulder is actually 16.5 for the front. The line is a fixed line and it's the same size for every pattern size you are working on. So we have 16.5. Don't forget, it's a fixed measurement, which is 16.5. Now, from the bust line, above the bust line, we have 4 cm above the bust line, which fixes for our chest line. All right, so this is the 4 cm and this is our chest line. So how do we get the chest line? The chest line is half your chest width, half chest width. So the chest width in bust 92 is actually 38 cm. So half of it becomes 19. All right, so we're going to mark 19 right here. All right, as soon as you mark 19, you will rule a line at that point. So this is our chest line. I'm going to write it there. And I'm going to write 19 cm at this point. It is not done yet, so I'm just going to leave it that way. Secondly, let's go back to the NP. Now we need to fix the shoulder slope or the shoulder line. Now, what do we do when we get here? The first thing you need to do is to mark a provisional line, unfinished line, okay, of about 20 to 21 cm. So I'm going to rule a provisional line, 20 to 21 cm. So I'm going to leave it that way. Now we're going to do the front dart, okay? The shoulder dart. Taking the shoulder dart, this is what you need to do. The quarter chest width, which is 9.5, is the point at which the shoulder dart is being constructed. So from the bust line, I would take 9.5. 9.5, which is what? Quarter chest measurement. So 1/4 of what? Chest measurement. Chest measurement, yes. Which is 9.5. Now, below the bust line, you remember this is your bust line. Below the bust line, you're gonna go to like point by 2 cm, okay? Now, when it gets to 2 cm right here, you will now take the same 9.5 around the shoulder line that we've created, which is, you look for it because your ruler will tell you where the 9.5 is. Wherever the 9.5 touches means that is you've gotten the line. So from here, we have gotten the line as 9.5. This is 9.5. You now rule a straight line to the 2 cm below the bust line. Rule a straight line. So you write 2 cm right there, knowing that this is below the bust line. Now, you now take 2 cm on the shoulder, still on the shoulder line. You're going to take 2 cm, okay, to your left, and mark it right there and write 2 cm. And take that same line to the 2 cm below the bust line. Now we're going to draw the dart. The front dart for bust 92 is, the shoulder dart, I beg your pardon, is 7.5 cm. So this is a graded measurement. It is always in the table of average measurement and proportion. Always check for each draft you are drafting. Now you're going to take that same dart size, okay, to the 2 cm below the bust line, I beg your pardon. Now you're going to indicate that 7.5 cm. All right. Now, to now complete the shoulder, now that we've drawn the dart, we'll now calculate from the NP shoulder measurement plus dart measurement. Now, the shoulder measurement is the one you take on the bodice, which is from the nape of the neck to the shoulder blade. For bust 92, the shoulder is 12.5. All right, note that 12.5. Now 12.5 plus our dart, which is 7.5, equals to 20 cm. So I'm going to mark 20 cm now as my SP, because we've calculated the SP as what? We have 12.5 plus 7.5 cm. All right. Now you're going to rule a line. Before we complete the shoulder, the chest line, you can see that it's unfinished. Now you're going to come to the center of the dart and go and calculate what you have in between it. This is just a guideline. It is not used. Okay, so I'm marking it right there. Do not go extend. Don't extend it. It's just between the dart. Now between the dart, you have 2 cm accurate measurement. So this 2 cm will be added to the chest line. Now, why are you adding the 2 cm to the chest line? It is because when the dart is being closed, it does not reduce the chest line in any way. That is why it has been moved from here. So it's just like it's moving from here to the front. All right, so don't make that mistake. If you do not take that provision to the side, that means your chest line or the chest measurement will be reduced by 4 cm. Remember that this is a quarter pattern and this is half of the front. So whatever you do is times 2 for your full measurement. So always remember that. So we've taken the 2 cm to the front. Now we can now complete the shoulder line. So we have the shoulder. Okay. So as soon as you're done, this point right here becomes the chest point. And you draw a straight line or a perpendicular line onto the bust line, just like that. Now this is another angle which we would be using to create your armhole for the front. Now at this angle it is 1.5 cm. So take the 1.5 cm right there and pull it upward. All right, 1.5 cm. Now to draw the armhole, you're going to calculate what the line is in between the SP and the chest point, all right, which is 13 cm in this case. So we're going to look for the half, the center of it, which is 6.5. At that point, take inward 1 cm. Take inward 1 cm. This 1 cm is same for everybody. It's a graded measurement. All right. Now, as soon as we're done with that, 1 cm. Now we're going to look for our front UP to now connect our armhole. Now, how do we calculate the front UP? I'm going to write the calculation right here so you can see it. Now, in the textbook, it is said that half bust plus 5, whatever gives you, minus the back UP equals the front UP. All right. Now, what do we have as our half bust? The half bust is actually 46 plus 5 equals to 51. So 51 minus 23, which we have from the back, gives you 26.5, if I am correct. So we have the calculation as 27 cm. All right. So we now have 27 will now be marked as our front UP. So I've marked it there. Write your UP up there, then write 27 cm. Okay, now we can connect the armhole. Now for the front armhole, you can see the position at which I stand. So always stand in whatever position you see me stand. It's easier for you to connect what you need to do. Now I'm going to take it from the SP now. I'm going to blend it. I'm blending into the chest line. Then it goes through the angle and it bumps out of the bust line. You can see it bumps out like that and slightly curved till it gets to the UP. Now we have connected the armhole. The next thing to do, just the same way we've done to the front, is to go to the HP. To connect the HP line, it is still the same as what we've done to the back. Now the hip line is 25, which is quarter hip measurement. All right, and we're gonna add just 2 cm to it, plus 2 cm. Okay, 25. Now this is our new line, which is the HP line. Now we're going to rule a straight line from the UP to the HP. As soon as you're done with that, you go to the waist and take in 1.5. Now for the front, it is 1.5, not 2 cm. Rule a straight line upward to the UP and downward to the HP. All right, so we are almost done with the draft. The next thing to do is to, before going to the dart, okay, now we need to mark the true bust line. The true bust line is 4 cm below the bust line. Now the true bust line does not get to the back. It stays at the front because that is where it's needed, and it doesn't have to touch the UP line. So just take it about quarter halfway and write the true bust line. Okay, now for the waist dart, we are using 9.5 because the quarter chest measurement is actually 38 and is the same point at which we drew the dart. So it's the same line, okay? Always remember that. Now, the front dart, which goes upward, is 2 cm below the true bust line for whatever shape or size you are working on. It is 2 cm. You don't need to measure if it's 13 or 12 or 10. Don't worry about it. As long as it is 2 cm below the true bust line, you are correct. So we have 2 cm below the true bust line. Then below the waist dart, you can always take your 13 cm. Make sure you're straight. All right. Now the dart size is 4 cm. So we have 2 to the right and 2 to the left. Complete your dart size. Okay, so this is what we have. And before we finish, we need to talk about one special line which is very essential when you're working on a waistline cut. All right, on a waistline cut, anytime you are cutting on the waistline, you must make reference to this line. It is called the low waistline. All right, now the low waistline is taken from the front, okay, the front waist, and below it you take 1 cm. 1 cm for small sizes and 2 cm for larger sizes. Now around the waist, what you need to take is 0.5 for both waist lines. Now then it connects straight to the back. It doesn't go below the back line because the length to waist is actually the lowest part or the deepest part of your back. So you don't go beyond that. If it does, your clothes will start bulging at the back. All right, so we'll connect it and connect the lines together. Now for the neck depth, okay, what you need to do is to give it a 3 cm angle at the angle and connect the curve slightly like this. Then the last thing we need to do is to create the dart crown. Okay, you know your dart has a crown and you wonder how to go about it. So you fold in the dart size. Remember that the 2 cm is not needed. Okay, look at it. The 2 cm is not needed. It's just a guideline for the dart. Now fold it onto the other side of the dart. Now I don't want you to make any mistake here. A lot of people do. Now take a straight line. Just take a straight line from the SP to the NP. Don't do anything otherwise. From the SP to your NP. Rule a straight line there. All right. As soon as you do that, open it back. When you open it, the dart itself has given you a new crease at the center. So what you need to complete this crease is just to continue with the line. Can you see? Continue with the line and rule it to that new crease that it has been created like this. All right, and complete it onto the line. You can see it's not touching here, but in some draft it does, so don't worry about it. Okay, now that we have done with the crown, you can complete your dart so that when you are tracing, it is easier for you to understand. Thank you very much. Waiting to see your draft. Now the pattern has been created, as you can see. In the next video, you'll be learning how to trace out a bodice, because most of the lines you have here, we do not need it, and you don't see it on your online. Wherever you see that or patterns, you don't see those lines. So we're going to teach you how to trace the necessary lines. Thank you very much.